It was in 2013 summer, before visiting a folk festival in Slovakia, when I decided to buy my first camera specifically for that trip. Originally I wanted to have a video camera because that was what I was interested in. I started searching and reading documents, and at that time video cameras were not, that was the time when video cameras went out of fashion. So I found in the stores a lot more DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. At that time there were no full frame mirrorless cameras, so my interest went over to Micro Four Third, or actually Nikon 1. At that time Nikon 1 system existed. Later, a couple of years later, Nikon, the corporation, decided to cancel and abort this project. However, that was actually my first camera set. I loved it tremendously. However, shortly after, Sony announced AX100 in next year, early next year, and at that time that was a real camera with unlimited recording time and 4K recording, but that was brutally expensive camera at that time. But actually that was the camera which I always wanted to have. But then I was heavily invested in the Nikon 1 system. I didn't want to change and spend another thousands of euros over to that system. But definitely I always kept an eye on this AX100. And I watched all the tutorials and videos, reviews available. The most important ones are still available on YouTube. These are from the his review of the camera. His examples are simply awesome. And then the two tutorials he gave and presents still available, the focus tools and focus tips, and the exposure tools and exposure tips, just showed how amazing touch menu system Sony engineers designed at that time. That still amazes me, that how great Sony engineers worked when they invented and designed the AX100 4K camera. Also, the help guide are available, and this was published in April 2014, and this was the operating instructions, and that's the PDF documents which lists all of the contents, for example, of the package, and it's very useful. It has a lens hood, remote control, a lens cap. It can have two types of batteries. This is the FV70, which the AX100 is come together. That's the instruction still available from the Sony website. And then, that was yesterday, I managed to buy my FDR AX100 camcorder. That was my offer for this camera, 800 euros. The camera is described as in excellent condition, and all the images provided by the seller demonstrates, yes, definitely this camera is in great condition. Still has its box. The only thing I didn't find in this picture are the remote gizmo. I haven't received the parcel, so I think the end of next week it is arriving to my home from Germany. I'm going to buy a eye cup which is about 20 euro accessory. I wear glasses, and then definitely this is the big eye cup that I would love. And one of the major and important advantage of a camera like that is that it has a tilting viewfinder. So this viewfinder tilts up, and this I love tremendously. Also the screen is 3.5-inch, a large touch screen with absolutely excellent intuitive user interface. Of course, this is a 1-inch sensor with included ND filters. Yes, that's a video camera with excellent built-in microphone too. The other accessories I am planning to buy. So this is the replacement, this is the remote control. If the camera doesn't come with this remote control, maybe I'm going to complain to the seller that it wasn't included. But anyway, if it's not, this is not a big deal. I can buy it to make the set complete. And also I love to have spare batteries. I don't want to buy these big batteries. I prefer to have these FV7 size batteries, because when and if you buy a large battery, that could protrude back to the camera, and then it looks really awful and terrible. So if I really want to have unlimited recording for hours, maybe that could be the situation when I'd buy a larger battery. But I think for the project that I am buying this camera for, these large batteries are not required. Instead, extra batteries that I can replace quickly are important. So there are two types which I found. This is 30 euros and this other package is 40 euros. Not a big difference, but this one is a USB rechargeable. Even a power bank could be used to recharge these batteries. This gizmo here, this is called a cold mount adapter converter for Sony multi-interface show. I think the reason it is required for that camera is that the multi-interface shoe, which is located here, this is a very small compartment, and then if you want to include or insert mount any accessory, and if it doesn't fit into this small compartment, of course some of the gizmos could fit without this adapter, but then if this compartment is not large enough, then this is the extension utility which makes it taller, and then here you will have the option to mount your cold shoe accessory. This is a cold shoe, remember, so if you want to use a multi-interface accessory, a microphone or whatever, it should be directly mounted on the camera hot shoe. This is my microphone which I'm using for a couple of years. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus with this dead cat. I think that requires this accessory because I'm pretty sure it won't fit into this small compartment there. So my friends, that was a quick introduction of how I'm going to be prepared, and I'm very enthusiastic to have a dream camera of my time. Definitely I could have bought a more recent version of that camera, or other incarnation, but for this 800 euros I think that's quite decent, excellent deal. And then this camera is still a excellent option for the projects I am up to. So stay tuned. When I'm receiving the camera, I'm going to review. Maybe I'm going to make additional comments and usage, but definitely if you want to have excellent review and tutorials, just check out the brilliant Alistair Chapman videos, and that's awesome. All of them have been posted in 2014.